In this lesson, I will make the colors for my final project and focus on painting the mountains and their reflections by using flat washes and layers. And I want to show you how, by using the Call Me Anytime moldboard, I selected the paints I want to use. And I already have the palette with water, and I'll start creating the colors as I showed you before. I'll add paint to the water and create the values I need. After I'm finished making my colors, I will check if they have the value I want. If not, I can add a little bit of paint to make the colors thicker or a little bit of water if I want them to be thinner. I added a little bit of paint to most of the colors and now they're ready. The first thing I'm doing is by using a washi tape, I'll tape the watercolor paper onto a wooden panel, which will help me to have some ability if I need to move the piece around to paint, and also it prevents the paper from warping. I have already traced my piece, and using the washi tape I will cover the frame I left so it won't be painted with the watercolors. I will use another tape, just because I finished the one I already had, to separate the mountains from the lake, and I will press very softly, you don't have to do it out hard, to help us make a very clean line that separates the mountains from the water. And I'll start by painting the mountain that is farthest away in my composition using the light blue. After I finish with this one on the left, I'll go and paint the one on the right while the first mountain dries. When I'm finished with this mountain, I want to wait for the mountains to be completely dried before I move on into the next layer. And one thing I can do is use a blow dryer, which will make the process be a bit quicker, and I can make sure the paper and the colors and paint are completely dried. When I started my third layer, I noticed that the color I had made wasn't as dark as I wanted to, so I added a little bit of paint. And what happens is that even though I had already tried the colors on a paper, on a white paper, once you start layering, the colors will change a little bit, and you can just add a little bit of color to your already made on your palette and achieve the colors you want. Something I want you to notice is that the farther away the mountain is in our composition, the lighter the color I use. And as we're getting closer, the colors are darker. So this is really good for achieving depth in our composition, and something to keep in mind when you guys are making your final project. I'm changing now to a brush, a round number 4, to paint the mountains on the back and have a little bit more control, because I'm not going to be painting over the ones I've already done. Once I'm finished painting the background and the mountains, and when I'm sure they are completely dried, I can remove now the washi tape very slowly because I don't want to bring the paper with it. I don't want to rip it. And take your time, there's no hurry. And when it's done, I will place it over the mountains so I can paint the lake or the reflections of the mountains on the water. And I'm going to take the same steps I did painting the mountains now with the reflections. I will start with this one right over here and then move my way to the right, wait for the watercolor to dry, and then paint the second layer. When that one dries, paint the third layer, and so on, just like I did with the mountains. Since I covered with the tape the set of little mountains on the front, I need to remove the tape to see where the reflection will go. And as you can tell right now, while removing the tape, some water actually went through. And this is something that could actually happen to you too, so don't worry about it. Just have a tissue paper and remove the excess water with it. And maybe using a little brush and a bit of water, you can remove the paint if it dried, but it should be okay. I'm about to finish the mountains and the reflections, and I'm ready to move forward into the next lesson where I'll be painting the sky with a warmer palette and adding the last details to my piece.